bubbling cans of nuclear waste filth or something, or goo. But this is the next project. Okay, this is not attached. Since I play Warhammer 40,000, always coming up with different ideas for scatter terrain, different things you can use in the game for cover. You always see these big oil drums in some of the pictures, so I was able to get some for myself and painted those up so they're nice and filthy. I'm not the world's best painter. Those are little decals. They are warning labels. I've got one on each of the barrels. Well, they're supposed to be on each of the barrels. Let's see. I was just going to do them as scatter terrain, but I think I want to turn these into objective markers. So you would have objective marker 1, objective marker 2, 3, obviously, and then need some more. So what I did was, in addition to ordering some off of Etsy, these are printed a little bit bigger than these, but it doesn't matter. I'll take it. I kind of had the casting or the molding and casting bug, so I molded a few of these and casted them in resin, and yeah, I just have to prime and paint them. And I have, let's see, well, those are the warning labels there, little water slide decals. I've got barrels everywhere now. That's okay though, that's a good thing. I have these numbered decals. I will go ahead and put a number for what the objective marker is on each one. On each one of the base. So I'll put a number 1 somewhere on this guy. Put them on one of these bases here. Get some goo. Get some filth. 2. I already have 3, and so on up until I'll do 6 of them total. So that way, not only do I have these nasty looking oil barrels for scatter terrain, they're actually useful for objective markers as well. I have, let's see, maybe I'll use this big one. Some of these are dented too, which is cool. Maybe I'll use the big one for number 1. And yeah, we'll just add to it then. This is just epoxy with some green dye in it. I was just messing around one day with it and figured it would look really cool on a base. I'll probably paint some fluorescent paint underneath here and then glue that to the top of it so it kind of glows through there. Add some gravel, add a few tufts, make it look like it would fit in with the 40K universe, and yeah, we'll have something cool to put on the tabletop then. So, alright, let's get started. Blip, 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 blip. Alright, so I applied a gloss coat to the barrel so I can put the decal on and make it a little bit easier to remove that that silvering that's prominent with decals when they dry. I've got a little bit of weathering that I put on it as well. Just used a sponge with a little bit of Mornfang brown on it from Citadel. Just did a little bit of stippling with it just to kind of blend it in with the colors of the barrel with the weathering that I already had previously done on it. So there's your number 3 on there for 3 barrels, objective number 3. Just have to put a matte coat on over the top of that, add a little bit of basing to it, and this one will be done. Let's see, let me pull this one over here. If it doesn't fall apart by the time I bring it over. There is One there, and of course one did fall off of it. So I'll have these 4 right here. I'll put a number 4 decal right on top of one of these, add some basing to that, and so on. Alright, so I'll just keep on going with that with 6 bases. I'll probably have a couple of them that are laid down, pyramid type. Put them on top. So move the light over there. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to keep up with this then. Be right back. So I've got the objective number 3 here. This one's been super glued down to a base. I'll go ahead and add a little bit of flocking and probably put a couple, maybe a grass tuft in there. I got to put a skull in there too. It's 40K, so it's got to have a skull. I've got, let's see, this one will be next. Don't want to do like goopy toxic waste on all of them. I want to have each one a little bit individual. This one right here is one of the larger ones I did. It's already kind of bent up, which is nice. I did a base coat of model color sky blue and then a shade of Draconoff Nightshade. Glossed it up a little bit for the biohazard decal and got that on there. And once that is completely set in place and dried, I'll go ahead and put a matte coat in there to seal it. This one I'll probably just going to do just some random scattered garbage. I've got plenty of this screening from the K9 build, so I could probably put a little bit of gravel, throw some junk on here, and since this one's by itself, I'll put a number 1 on the top. So we have, at the end, we'll have 6 objective markers that you can also use for scatter terrain. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to it, and next time I turn on the camera, this one should be done. This one will be in process, as well as this one. And I still have a nice amount of barrels and bases to work on here. So, all right, now I'm going to get back to it. All right, work progresses on the objective markers / scatter terrain pieces. Just got couple grass tufts here. This is actually sickly green hot glue. I had picked this up a while back when I wanted to start working on a Death Guard teleportarium for my Death Guard Terminators. There's the snot green glue sticks there for that. I've got put some Agrax Earthshade over the base color on the ground. Did a little bit of dry brushing. I got the one little one by itself here. I'll do a few grass tufts and a couple skulls. The 2 here, I'm waiting for the top to dry with the gloss coating so I can put the decal on there. In the meantime, I'm taking contrast paint and dirtying these up with it. And this contrast paint is like the easiest, quickest way to to weather these things up. And you can use washes, you can use rust effects, whatever you find easier, whatever you like using. I figured I'd try the contrast paints in this respect, and I'm really enjoying the results. Put some around the inside lip here, and I'll let that dry. Let's see if I can get some better light on these. This one here is snakebite leather. No, actually, skeleton horde, I'm sorry. But you get a nice, nice weathered, dirtied up effect on this. Alright, so I'm gonna keep going on these. As of recording right now, I've got, close the lid on that one so I don't lose it. Still have to do, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do one with 5 and one with 6. I think 6 is going to be like a little pyramid type deal, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. All right, I'll be back in a bit. All right, so number 1 barrel almost completed. I'm just going to add a few more pieces to the base. I did use that green hot glue as kind of looks like a product called Bull Snot they use for your tires. But yeah, I've got some stuff on there. The number 2 barrel here, well, for the number 2 objective marker. Get that in frame there. This one right here, I dirtied it up with some contrast paint. I have the Griffon Orange contrast paint right here. Just going to get a little bit on an old carry-out cup here, and I'm just going to use some dirty paint water to actually just thin that down a little bit, because if you put it on just straight, it is very, very strong. So I'm just going for the inside ring here. I want to get that rust going on there. Get a little bit more paint there. Too much dirty paint water. But I'm going to get some on the 2 there. Now I don't want to do I'm not doing an all over wash. Just being precise on where I'm putting the effects here. I want around this cap here. I've got around the inside ring. And I'll do a little bit on the, got something on my fingernail. Get that focused in here. So on the bottoms of the rings there. Because you want to try and make it look like it's pooling where it would naturally. Alright, let me move the light here. There we go, that looks a little bit better there. Add a little bit of rust to this one too. Hit the bottoms of those rings. I'm actually going to use some straight Gryphon orange right in that dent there. Alright, we're going to let that dry and see what it looks like afterwards. Almost done with these. I just have to finish up number, well actually get 5 and 6 on their bases, finish some weathering, get some skulls on here, and we're all ready to go. Alright, quick little update here. I've got some noise in the background, but yeah, the furnace is on, washing machine is on. Had a base ready to go for my number 2 objective here, and I have no idea where I put it. I brought it in from drying outside. It was nice a few days ago. Weather has changed a little bit. It's been like windy and really cold out over here, but I have no freaking idea what I did with that base. It wasn't fantastic. I had some ground cork piled up. I had the two barrels. I had room for the 2 barrels here. These were still down here in the basement. Yeah, so I'm just going to make another one, and I can tell you right now, it's going to show up as soon as I finish it. So I'm going to keep at it, and yeah, it took a little bit of a hiccup, but yeah, we're going to keep on going. So yeah, I'm going to focus on, let's see, I got taking a piece of the sprue, cutting off little bricks, little pieces here. I'm going to mix this with some gravel. I'm going to mix this with some skulls, and yeah, we're going to finish this nice little number 2 objective. And after that, I've got, let me bring it over here. More barrels are prime black. I'm going to get those put together how I want them arranged. I still want to do probably the number 6 objective. It'll be like 3 barrels, 2 barrels, and 1 barrel, and then I have it just oozing all over the place. But yeah, I'm almost done with these. I just I actually have a piece of real rust here. I could use that on there. But yeah, I was kind of annoyed. I was just like, wait, I've been looking all over the house for this number 2, this base for my number 2 objective, and I have no idea where it's at. So I even looked in the trash because I thought maybe I might have thrown it away with when I was cleaning up the other day. But like I said, it'll turn up after the video is probably posted. So alright, I'm going to get back to this. Alright, coming down the home stretch, this is the replacement base I made for the one that is MIA. Just put a little bit of orange contrast on there. I didn't want anything like really bright and happy. That's not part of the 40K universe. I also have, that's my objective number 6. Just gotta clean up the back a little bit. I'm gonna spray this whole thing with some green. Same green as these guys over here. I was using using my inks through the airbrush. I've got some large, some small. I'm going to mix them up a little bit. Started with the FW yellow over a white prime, and then I put some contrast orange, and I put some contrast brown. The names, let's see, which the Gryphon orange. I just don't want to say brown and orange, and skeleton horde. Of course, I got my skulls there, ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this little pile airbrushed, And I'll flip this over because I'm using it as a palette right now. So this one is going to be going to have some of that nice green hot glue dripping down from one of them. That I gotta make sure I use one of the barrels with the opening on the bottom there, so it'll look real. Get in frame, John. Look a little more realistic. So it'll be dripping all the way down, and then I'm gonna put like a skull there and have the hot glue drip all over it. No, just add some more basing to it. So, all right, should be done with this in a couple hours. So, get these done, get them on the tabletop. I did do a little bit of cleanup on this one. This was my very first one. The edge of the number 3, I don't know if I painted over it or it rubbed off or what, but that had come off, so I just took a little bit of white ink while I had my ink out, and just tap that to make it look like a number 3. Yeah, basing, gravel, cork, all that fun stuff. Put that on there. Used a little bit, some washes. I used some Payne's Gray ink. But yeah, I'm liking this one so far. Just gotta put some green hot glue on the bottom there, just to stick 2 oil drums on there, and yeah, call it a day with that one. So, alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I was going to paint this stack of 6 of them green, but since I'm going to have that green goo all over it, I'm just going to go with this this light blue here. Alright, I'm happy with that, and I'll just go ahead and do some light weathering on it. I'm going to get the backs kind of dirtied up, because this is where they actually came off the base when I was casting them. You're not going to see that anyway. You're going to be looking at the fronts of it. But I'll go ahead and hit a few spots here, and then I might just throw a little bit of contrast in with my mix, or in the airbrush real quick after I clean it out, just to get some spray, overspray on there. So. And towards the end, the paint's getting a little thick at the bottom, so I'll put a little bit more flow improver in there. The paint should be the consistency of like milky water. And mix it all in there. There we go. Okay. Alright, I'm going to let that dry, and then, like I said, I'll clean this out a little bit. Throw a little bit of contrast paint in there and just do some streaking on them. See, like, pull in right there. And then, yeah, like I said, after this is all said and done, I'm going to drill out one of those, probably that one right there. That's probably the better choice. And then just holding it down like this, drip some of that green hot glue all down the bottom of it after I base it. Throw a skull in there, have it dripping all over the skull, and then put a number 6 decal in there. We'll be all set to go. Alright, so as I sit here actually waiting for paint to dry, I decided to, I got two different things I got going on here. Little sponge technique, a little bit of Vallejo oily steel. Just want to get a little bit of some light sponging on there, just to add to it. I mean, you can also take these metallic Sharpies, and all I'm doing with this is just tapping. Just random spots. I think it'll show it better. I've got some of the sponging done on this green barrel. It was a little overboard right there, but yep, stay in frame, John. Just a few taps with the Sharpie here and there. Give it that nice corroded look. I got what I'm waiting for is the ground cover to dry. So I could dry brush that, maybe put a grass tuft in there, but yep, while I'm waiting, I'll do a few here and there. Alright, liking that. The other one here, I got my number 6. Number 6, objective marker decal there. Again, waiting for paint to dry. I'm going to do a little bit more weathering on the barrels here. I've got, let's see, where's he at? From my box of skulls. That's not a skull. Well, I have an orc skull that I'm going to pop on there. I'm just going to put right there. I'm using an orc skull because the it's larger, and since I'm going to like kind of just drape hot glue over the top of it, I'm not sure how much of it's going to actually settle before it dries. So I figure a larger skull would probably be easier to see, even if it gets obscured. I'm going away from the piece of rust that I was going to use because, frankly, if somebody's playing a game with me and they pick this thing up, I don't want to give somebody lockjaw. So if I do use this, it'll probably be like actually on a base where something's standing and it's not going to be able to cut you or stab you. But these are, they're almost done. I mean, as of right now, I still have to glue the number 2 to the base, which I think this is my favorite base as of now. Using these pieces of cut up sprue actually makes it a lot easier to get some quick ground cover. But I am loving these, and let me get this one. I'll get that glued in place, and should be done very shortly here. Then I'll get them all put together and put some of my lovely death guard around it, and you'll see what the final product looks like. Alright, so weathering continues. I am taking some of the Griffon Orange contrast paint just to get in between. Do some rusting on the bottoms here. I think I'm liking contrast paints for weathering more and more as I use them. Not straight up, just a little bit thinned down. So I get them where the barrels meet here. And I think with a little bit more water, I'll just it's a little bit of dirty paint water. Get that blended in. Alright, very cool. And for the backs, the bottoms here, I'm just going to go in with some probably some Doomable brown and some orange and just really rust up those. I'll just sponge that on, but let me blend that in a little more. Try to avoid too much on top because okay, once that dries, I'll go ahead and hit that with a little bit of silver here and there. Then I'm going to drill out this one right here, and then I will just ooze the hot glue. Oh, I want to put some of the cut up sprue pieces on the ground cover, and then I'll just get that primed and clean up the ground a little bit. Then I'll put that orc skull in there and just snot all that green hot glue all over it. So okay, I think I'll clean that top up with some silver. Okay, liking it. Alright, here they are in their full glory. Objective marker number 1, if you can see that, see the decal on top of it. Two, 3, that's the original one that I started this whole project off with. Number 4, sitting in some sludge. Number 5 back there, and number 6, and that's all that goop is actually running down onto an orc skull. Yeah, so they came out pretty good. I'll get these onto the turntable and get a closer look at each one of them. Alright, and with that we are ending this video. This is a short one. The objective markers came out exactly how I wanted them to. I got Mr. Typhus there as for scale. He's on the same size base. let's see, where's it at? Yeah, for detail there. Got my lovely skulls. The only thing I'm not too happy with is these tall grass tufts. I might take them off or just fix them. The very bottoms right there, you can see a big glue spot there. But yeah, apart from that, I'm loving these. They're fantastic for just throwing on the table. You can like use them for your objectives, if I can even say the word. I've got those there. Focus in there. Okay. Kind of glad it didn't fall apart right there. Yeah, I've got 3 of those. And number 5. Yep. Use the turntable, John. I don't have a fancy battery operated one. Okay, got that one there. And let's see, yep, that's the one that's been showcased since the very beginning. And for number 6, oh yeah, and that's an orc skull that's glooping all over. This one I really like how the weathering turned out on it. The back's not the best, but it's all nice and rusty. And let's see, making his debut. Yeah, the base that I lost. I told you I would find it as soon as I got done with these things. I actually found it. I decided to put up my Christmas lights outside today, and my sweatshirt was in the car, and it was the same sweatshirt I was wearing when I had this outside drying. I popped it in my pocket and forgot all about it. So, but yeah, this is, like I said, quick project. I'm still going to be able to use that for something, but I knew as soon as I got done with this I would find it. Something told me. But yeah, it's objective markers / scatter terrain. You look at most pictures of 40K battles, you're gonna, if it's like an urban setting, you're gonna see these oil drums everywhere. So I figured I might as well just use them to my advantage and actually use them for something that is necessary to the game, which is your objective markers. Alright, so yeah, this was a quick one. Not too long of a video, pretty straightforward, just painting up some barrels and basing them and just making them look like they belong in the 40K universe. Yeah, like I said, I'll be able to use him again. But that is where we are with those. So another completed project. Just something whimsical that I wanted to do for a while. Like I said, I've had plenty of these barrels floating around, and it's not a scene from 40K if you don't have oil drum barrels scattered around your urban terrain. So yeah, if you like the video, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. And it's channel's still new at this point in time, and I'm having a lot of fun putting these videos together, and got lots of ideas for more. There will be 40K content in the future. Like I said originally, I don't want to make this a 40K channel. I do sci-fi models and miniatures. That's what I do. So these I like to consider models and miniatures. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.